Our first speaker this evening is a member of your class of 2015, Dennis Budde. Dennis was chosen for the honor of speaking to you by a committee of students from the Student Association on the basis of his proposal and his presentation. Dennis is a double major in linguistics and visual and dramatic arts, and, as we just heard, a member of Baker College. While at Rice, he's been an active writer and actor in Rice's Kinda Sketchy, a manager of the Rice Coffee House, and an O-Week coordinator for Baker College. Please welcome Dennis Budde.
Thank you. I'll just go down. Yeah, all right. Members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, families, and friends, good evening. Okay. Fellow students, we made it. All right. Other than that, there's almost nothing that we all have in common. The only thing that I can think of is this. Just about all of us have experienced a week. Thus, in the interest of relevance and doing all I can to be as interesting as Colin Powell, I would like to start with a definition of a week. Okay. A week, or orientation week, is an event lasting a week wherein returning students orient incoming students. I made up this definition to remind us all that none of us started our time at Rice University without an incredible support system. This fact begs the question, am I expected to self-orient for the rest of my life? That question, in turn, elicits a statement once famously dictated by renowned film actor Will Ferrell. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. All of this is to say that I am terrified for the mystery of the future. Do you remember another time that we all felt terrified? A week? Students? I remember feeling sick to my stomach when I arrived at Rice University for the first time, but as my parents pulled up to Baker College on move-in day of O Week, I looked out and saw a bunch of nerds. I could not have been more excited. As you can probably tell by my voice, this was the perfect environment for me. Thank you. During that first week, my O-Week advisors unwittingly exercised their supernatural social power and formed me into the graduating student that I am today. They told me to try out any club that I thought was interesting and not to triple major. Contrary to every expectation, they also told me not to map out a 4-year class-by-class schedule. My advisor summed it up in the simplest way, saying, "You've never been in college before. Can you really know what you want yet?" My mind was blown. The only way to get through college is to improvise? In the words of the award-winning producer and comedian Will Ferrell, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I was decided on linguistics and theater coming into college. My hope was to keep both of those passions close to me throughout my time here, and I succeeded in doing that. I took Intro to Linguistics right away, and I signed up to be the stage manager for a play called Dead Man's Cell Phone. But when the play ended, my plan was offered an interruption. An actor from that production was creating a sketch comedy group on campus, and he invited me to audition. For the first time, I had to remember what my advisors had said. Improvise. For those of you who don't know, sketch comedy and improvisational comedy are different. Sketch comedy is written beforehand, like Saturday Night Live. Improv, though, is more like a sport. There are rules, but there is no predetermined outcome, unless somebody is heavily bribed. Ironically, joining a sketch comedy group was the first time that I improvised in college. I signed up to do something that I had never before considered. By my senior year, I was spending a minimum of 7 hours a week writing, performing, and producing sketch comedy. The skills I gained from this hobby are a massive part of what got me a job out of school. They also provide the knowledge that I can fall back on when I meet new people, instead of saying, "What college are you at?" Because I don't think that will work as well. Tomorrow. Okay. This substantial fraction of my character stemmed from a moment of improvisation. The importance of improvisation is a truth that one can find anywhere. Bill Gates was not always planning on dropping out of college. President David Lebron did not always know that he would be the president of Rice University. Mark Zuckerberg was not always planning on dropping out of college. The takeaway here is that we should always keep our eyes peeled for the opportunities that we haven't thought of, especially if we went to Harvard. Thank you. Can't just do the same joke twice. Okay. In a short manual entitled Truth in Comedy, the forefathers and mothers of American improv made the point that life itself is improvisation. If we remember that, then we can never get stuck, and life will be inspiring, successful, and fun. As I continued through college, many opportunities arose, and I improvised pretty well. I continued to be involved in theater, sketch comedy, and linguistics. I also became an active member in my residential college, was an essential member in every flag football game. Yeah, okay. I'm holding for laughs there. Okay. I burned substantial quantities of coffee at Rice Coffee House and helped plan OEC and took multivariable calculus. In other words, I was an idiot. I didn't do too well at anything because I was doing too much. Without realizing it, I had ignored another important piece of OEC advice. Don't triple major. This is a hole that a lot of us have fallen into during our time here. It is so important not to do too much. When I was doing too much, I didn't actually do anything. It took me a while to cut back in college, but when I did, things got better. I could do better in academics, write better sketches, and walk between meetings. So in the words of President David Lebron, don't be an idiot. Fellow students, most of us have never been in the real world before. Can we really know what we want yet? Of course not. Not unless we're on crazy pills. As we commence our real world lives, then, are we expected to self-orient? No. We've already been oriented in an epic 1-score-year-long orientation. For me, that means I'm going to keep my schedule open for improvisation. I'm not going to triple major. And I'm going to start doing hot yoga. Thanks.